Hello, math magicians. We are going to learn something new today. So let's jot down some notes in case you forget what I tell you here. So here we go. Notes. Lesson 8.4 extension. And we are graphing still. So we're still going to be graphing, and we're still graphing parabolas. But the formula is given to us in this form. It's different. Y equals A times the quantity x minus h squared plus k. All right. This new formula, or this new, when you take a quadratic formula and you write it in this new way, this is called vertex form. Vertex form. All right, so let's write it again here. Y equals A times the quantity, x minus h, then that quantity gets squared, plus k. All right, this is called vertex form. All right, and for tonight, they're going to be given to you in vertex form, so you don't have to worry about how do we get it into vertex form. They're already going to be in vertex form. And by the way, we're going to learn how to get it into vertex form later on in the year when we learn how to do this thing called completing the square. But for now, you're just going to see it in vertex form, and it's kind of a nifty form. All right, you're still going to be able to find your axis of symmetry. You're still going to be able to find the vertex, the y-intercept, and an extra point. Okay, so we're still going to be able to find all these key parts of a parabola, but they're actually going to be pretty simple when things are in vertex form. Okay, the axis of symmetry is always going to be x equals h. The vertex is going to be h comma k. The y-intercept, still same, you plug 0 in to find the y value, and you put an ordered pair, 0 comma y. And then the extra point is always going to be across from the y-intercept. Okay? Okay, so we're going to be able to find the axis of symmetry, the vertex, the y-intercept, and an extra point, all from this new formula, which is called the vertex form. Okay, so this is all really important stuff here that you will probably have to refer back to. All right, let's go through a couple examples. Okay, so example number 1. Let's say we have y equals, let's go with y equals the quantity of x minus 4, and that quantity is squared, plus 5. All right, let's match it up with this new formula. Y equals A times the quantity of x minus h, quantity squared, plus k. Alrighty, it fits. It's in vertex form. So we can find the axis of symmetry. And axis of symmetry, remember, is, let's see, look it up again. It's x equals h, right? X equals h. So in this case, h is actually 4. That's the tricky part because the minus is already there. The minus already matches up. So x equals 4. That's your axis of symmetry. So that's kind of weird. You might be tempted to say negative 4, but the negatives already match. So h equals 4. Okay, the vertex Remember, the vertex is HK. So H is 4, K is 5. The pluses already line up, so K is 5. So 4, 5, H, K. So that was easy. The y-intercept is always found when you plug 0 in for x. So you just plug 0 in to the equation, and you can do that in your head. That's the fun of 0. It's easy. So you take 0 and you plug it in for x. Well, if x equals 0, 0 take away 4 would be negative 4. And then you square that because that's being squared. So negative 4 squared means negative 4 times negative 4. That's 16. And then plus 5. And 16 plus 5 is 21. And then you can find the extra point. And really, for these graphs, it might be easier to just do a rough sketch of the graph. So let's start graphing it, and then we can get the extra point. All right? So here we go on our graph. And it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be pretty doggone good. All right. So the axis of symmetry is at 4. So here we go. Let's say 4 is about here. So let's say that's at 4. And your vertex is at 4, 5. So let's put your vertex at about here. All right. The y-intercept is way up at 21. Okay, that's going to be up a little higher than I have here. So I'll do the best I can. The y-intercept is way up at 21. So here we go. 21, let's say 21's up there. So there's 0, 21, because that's on the y-axis. All right. Since this here is the vertex, that's the turning point, so it has to look something like this, right? It has to look something like this. So we need to find this extra point right here. Well, again, straight across from the y-intercept, and from here to here is 4, right? So from here to here is 4, so if you go 4 more, that must put you at 4 plus 4, that must put you at 8. So this must be at 8. So my extra point should be over 8 up 21. Over 8 up 21. And there you go. All right? Okay, let's try one more. All right, example number 2. This one gets a little trickier. So here we go. Y equals x plus 5, and the quantity is squared. Sorry, x plus 5, the quantity is squared, minus 1. All right, that's a vertex form. So let's put vertex form right underneath of it. It's a times the quantity x minus h, quantity squared, plus k. All right, we can find the axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry is always x equals h. So you're going to probably get that memorized, but you can always look it up. Or x minus h, or x equals h. Okay, this time, one's plus and one's minus. All right, so it's supposed to be minus. It's supposed to be minus, but it's plus. So this time your h isn't 5. Your h is negative 5, right? Because you can make a plus. You can rewrite a plus as minus a negative. So you need it to be minus. So you'd rewrite that as y equals x minus a negative 5. And you also need this to be plus, the second sign to be plus, but it's minus. So you're going to have to write that as plus a negative 1. All right, so you need those to match up. So when they don't match up, you need to rewrite it. So you need that. That's a plus actually, but you need it to be a minus. So you make it double negative, because isn't double negative the same as plus? And you need the second sign to be plus, but it's minus. So you have to write that as plus a negative. Plus a negative is the same thing as subtraction. Okay, so now the signs match up. Negatives and subtraction. Sorry, subtraction. Whoops. This is supposed to be H here, right? H. And so you have H is negative 5. Okay, so x equals negative 5. Not regular 5, because those don't match up. Negative 5, because the signs match up. Okay, the vertex is going to be h comma k. Alright? H is negative 5. K is negative 1. H is not positive 5, because those don't match. The signs don't match. K is not negative 1, because those don't match. After you get the signs to match, H is negative 5, signs match. K is negative 1. So negative 5, negative 1. Okay, the y-intercept is simple also. Just plug 0 in. So when you plug 0, you can actually plug it into the original. 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 squared is 25. 25 minus 1 is 24. And then we need the extra point. But you can find that from your rough sketch. So we're actually going to do rough sketches. Okay? Alright, so this one goes pretty high. Because if you graph this in regular graph paper, you're going to be going really, 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 really high up on the graph paper. Okay, the axis of symmetry is at negative 5. So let's say negative 5 is about here. Right, that's negative 5. And the vertex is at negative 5, negative 1. I need to move this down a little bit. All right, negative 5, negative 1. Actually, I'm going to move that negative 5 over. No, I can't. All right, negative 5, negative 1. Let's put it right about here. That's the vertex. Okay, the y-intercept is way up at 24, so let's say that's here. All right, so since this is a turning point, this parabola must go something like this. So we're looking for this extra point because it is straight across from the y-intercept. All right, if this distance here is negative 5, and another negative 5, right? They have to be equal because they're symmetric. A negative 5 and then keep going negative 5. So that must be backwards 10. So that must be at negative 10, right? And then 24. So the extra point must be backwards 10 and then up 24. So backwards 10 and up 24. And I have my graph. All right, I hope this is helpful. I guess the key is knowing this new vertex form and then being aware about the signs. The first one's plus, and if it's, the first one's subtraction. So sometimes you have to do a little double sign change. And the second one's addition. So sometimes you have to do a little double sign change here to get it to match. All right, good luck.